Hi guys, welcome to another Buzzin Chat Show here on Buzzin Pattaya. And today I am marooned, stuck in my condo. I can't get out, I've got so much editing and video work to catch up on. So today I'm not anywhere special, I'm sat at home, and unfortunately I'm not able to get out there and take you to somewhere different and show you somewhere new. But next week I promise you I will get out and about, and we'll change the scenery, because looking at these curtains is pretty boring, and certainly staring at me is even more hard work. So I do feel for you. All right guys, so today, now before we get into today's show, I want to say thank you to everybody that came on our very first Buzzing bar crawl the other week. It was fantastic. We had a really good time, and it was brilliant to meet all you guys, and we had such a good laugh. It really was a great evening. I will be doing these on a regular basis, but unfortunately, as we all know right now, I can't do anything because they're currently shutting the bars. But once that's over, then we're going to swap it around a little bit. We're going to go over to maybe take a trip out to Bang Chang one day. I'll take you around the gentlemen's clubs one day, etc, and we will mix it up a bit. So yeah, brilliant night. Thank you so much. And those of you that came, guys, wow, what an evening that was. Now, before I get into the nitty gritty of today's chat show, I just want to say some welcome to some new members, please. I'd like to welcome Ricky DiCaprio, Alan Dunlop, Little World Channel, Cliff M, John Wilson, and also Alan Hearn. Guys, thank you very much for joining the channel. It really is much appreciated. What I will say to you, if you haven't joined the channel, or you have joined the channel as a member, please remember I am out speaking to lots of businesses, and we'll be bringing some discounts to you from various places like restaurants and bars, etc, where you can claim your discount. I have said in the members area to send me through a digital picture, please, and your password, etc, and your username. Guys, if you haven't done that, please send that through to me so I can make your ID card and send it back to you, and then you can show that when you go into any of these places that they're going to offer the discounts, and you can claim your rewards. All right, so today, some great questions today. The first one here is from Steve Argan. He said to me, what do I think about the lockdown that we've just had imposed on us? Steve, well, how do I answer this? Well, I guess the only way is truthfully. You know, if you look back into like New Year's Eve, you know, we were all set, ready to go, ready to have an evening, and suddenly this outbreak happened and we had to close all the venues, and there was no New Year's Eve celebration. So, you know, that was a fatal blow. Now fast forward, and now we're at Songkran, which is probably the most celebrated event here in Thailand, particularly for the Thai people. And we're the day before, and now suddenly we've got a new outbreak where we have to close everything down, close all the venues down, and we can't celebrate Songkran the way that they would like to celebrate. And I have to say, I've got to be honest with you, isn't that a bit convenient? I mean, really, isn't that just a little bit too coincidental? I'm not one to say that it was set up, but I will just say to you that imagine if they'd have said there's no Songkran this year. Bear in mind, last year it was cancelled as well. So imagine there's no Songkran, and they announce it to the public, say, look, we're just not going to do it this year. We think it's too risky, etc, etc. There would, and should, and quite possibly would be outcry from the Thai people, particularly saying that's not, you know, we want to celebrate, etc, etc, etc. And it would perceive to be a negative step. But if there's a COVID outbreak, and they're now going to protect us from the COVID outbreak, then by all means shut the bars down and cancel it, because that's a good thing. So, you know, I don't know, guys, what do you think about this? Me, yeah, I'm not buying it. If I'm being honest, I'm not buying it. I just think it's just too coincidental, it's too timely, and it just doesn't sit with me. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm talking completely out of turn, but that's how I feel personally as an individual. I think it just all sits a little bit not well with me, because I just think it's just too coincidental. The day before Songkran, oh, we've got a COVID outbreak, let's close all the bars. And incidentally, you know, when you close these bars, I mean, again, you know, I don't understand that logic, if I'm being honest with you. Why shut a bar down? Okay, they're going to drink beer. Okay, so maybe they won't observe social distancing as well as they should do. Again, okay, I understand that logic, but then restaurants can sell beer at the moment. Now, whether that's going to change, I don't know, but right now you can go into a restaurant and you can sit down in an environment and you can all mix together. So I don't know, guys, you know, it's without sounding like an old record just going round and round and round, it's just getting beyond a joke now. It's really seriously impacting people. You know, I did a video the other day with Brian and Nadia where they go out and they feed the homeless and the people that have lost their jobs, etc. And this is only going to add to the problem. So it really, really is a seriously bad situation that we're in right now. And I hope that they do stick to the 2 weeks that they've said. I hope it's quicker than that, and I desperately pray that they're not using that as a shield and that they're going to actually extend it for more than the 2 weeks. I don't know, guys. What do you think? So yeah, Steve, in answer to your question, I'm not buying it. If I'm being honest, I'm not buying it. But that's just my opinion. I might be right, I might be wrong. It's my opinion, it doesn't matter. But that's just how I feel. All right, so Jim Fraser has asked the question, where is the best online forum to get advice about Pattaya and about coming here on holiday? Now, I'm going to say there's 2 places that I think are good. Number 1 is the Pattaya Addicts forum. It's a really good forum. There's thousands and thousands of chats on there. Literally, you can search for topics, etc. And I personally go on there. I think it's a very good forum. It's a good go-to source of information. Also, I would like to say, and I'm not being biased, I'm being honest, but I would like to say that our Buzzing Pattaya Telegram chat group is also a really good place to go and find information, because there's a lot of experienced people on there sharing their knowledge, sharing their information. So guys, if you haven't joined the Telegram group, please check it out. You know, have a look. If you go on there and you think it's not for you, fine, you know, it's not for you, no dramas, you know, leave it. But if you haven't had a look, at least go and check it out and see what you think. You never know, you might come across some useful information, you might meet some new friends, you might make some new acquaintances, and you know, it's all a positive step forward. So for me, I think both Pattaya Addicts and also our Buzzing Pattaya chat Telegram group are the 2, what I would say are go-to areas. But guys, if you use other sources of information, please, you know, don't hide this. Share it down below, drop the comment. Where do you go to get any information that you're looking for? I mean, maybe you just trawl the internet and hope to find the information you want. I don't know. But please, guys, you know, drop your comments. Let's share. It's not a problem. Talking of sharing, Bob Halfer has said, I'm laughing because I don't really want to discuss this, but as you've asked me, let's do this. Bob Halfer has said to me, do I get on with other YouTubers and do they get on with me? Mate, what a question, and you're putting me on the spot now, but let me just say it this way. I personally have no issues with any other YouTubers out there. None whatsoever. I really don't. You know, each to their own. We're all different. We all bring different things to the channel. We all do our own little ways. I have no axe to grind with anybody. Nobody. I'm not sure I can say the same about how they feel about me. It does appear, sadly, but it does appear that there's a little bit of possible resentment about the speed that our channel's growing. And I've noticed now that a few other channels are trying to copy what I do here, and that's fine. You know, I take that as a compliment. If you think what I'm doing is good and you want to try and copy it, crack on, you know, improve it. You know, let's make the experience for those people using YouTube as their source of go-to information, you know, let's make it enjoyable for everybody. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. But it appears that sadly, you know, there are people out there that seem to dislike the fact that we're doing so well. I'm sad to say that, but unfortunately it's true. You know, I went to Kevin Thailand's memorial recently, God bless his soul, an absolutely lovely, lovely guy. But it was, in my opinion, for me, it was tainted a little bit, only because not one of the other YouTubers came up and said hello to me. And when they were videoing, it was hilarious. It was like they were videoed apart. Where I was stood, they were putting the camera down, putting it back up the other side and carrying on. I mean, it really is, listen, I don't care. You know, at the end of the day, I will continue to do what we're doing here on Buzzin. I'm looking at every single way of improving what we're doing. I've just watched some videos recently of a guy that did a walkabout, and personally I think it's another level. It's just like quality, and I am gonna try and copy that to bring you a new walkabout style in the near future. Now it does look very complex, and it seems to be like a lot of video work involved, but I want to do that. You know, I may, and I don't know yet, again, we've got to see how much time these things take, because they do take a long time, but I may drop the content down from like once every day to maybe once every other day, but improve the quality of the content. I don't know yet. You know, I'm still learning, guys. You know, I'm as blown away by the channel growth myself as all the other YouTubers are. So, you know, this is all a learning curve for me, and things that we're changing here and I'm going to bring to the table are exciting things in the new future. But yeah, I don't know, Bob, you know, why they're jealous. Are they jealous, mate? I honestly don't know. I hate the word jealous, because jealous is such a powerful word. You know, you're jealous of someone. I mean, that means you think about me all the time, or think about the channel, and, you know, I'm sure I'm not that important. I'm very, very insignificant in all fairness. But anyway, it is what it is. I can't change that. So hey ho, to all YouTubers out there that are watching this, if you're watching this, good on you, boys. Crack on. Do the best you can. I love watching what you're doing. Fantastic. I have no axe to grind. And I promise you, if you come up to shake my hand, I will definitely shake your hand. Don't worry about it. It's not an issue. So, hey ho. All right. Conrad Campbell. Now, if you haven't been to Pattaya before, this is very, very important. If you're bringing hard cash with you, make sure that you get clean notes, because Conrad Campbell said, can you exchange worn or tired or pen marked notes in the exchange booths here? The answer is 99.9% of the time, no, you can't. If you take a note that's torn, they'll reject it. If you take a note that's had biro, you know, sometimes in England, the bank tellers, they write on the notes. You can't do any of that here. They will reject those notes. So try to get crisp, clean, brand new notes if possible. Maybe if you're going to go, like when I used to come here, I would go to my bank 3-4 weeks before I was due to travel out here, and I would order brand new notes. And what you want to try to do as well is get the biggest denomination you can. So for me, it was £50 notes. You get a slightly better rate if you produce a £50 note than if you produce a £10 note. They will give you slightly better. And ask, don't be afraid. You know, you say, look, I've got £50 notes here, or whatever your currency is, the big denomination, can I get a better rate? They'll look at the rate, and it might only be 0.1 or 0.2, whatever, but it all adds up. And at the end of the day, as I said earlier, make sure that these are crystal clean, because if they're not, you may well struggle to find anybody that will change them for you. So yeah, in answer to your question, you can't exchange worn notes. My tip for you is please make sure you order clean, big denominations and bring those with you, because they're the ones that they will take without any issue whatsoever. Okay, Michael Rajpal. Michael's asked the question, why are some bars open and some bars closed? In all honesty with you, Michael, it's just probably down to finances, if I'm being honest. You know, if you open a bar, you've then got to start thinking about the implications, because I'm guessing if you open the bar, the landlord might say, oh, now you're open, we can discuss your rent. Maybe they're on a discount rent at the moment because they're closed. And if they open the doors, then obviously I'm assuming, rightly or wrongly, that perhaps the landlord will want their full slice of rent. Also, if you do open, and we're talking about an go-go bar here, for instance, if you do open a go-go bar, you've got to get all the girls back. And a lot of girls are salaried, and a lot of girls are on contract. And if they're not salaried, they get a 10-day contract. And, you know, again, that's a lot of outlay for a bar that is going to open when there's not a huge amount of tourism. Now, I say it like that because, ironically, there is still a lot of activity. You know, I was in LK Metro and Soy Bacau the other day, and it's busy. You know, it's not as busy as in like overcrowded like it used to be, but nevertheless, it's still got a reasonable amount of footfall going on at the moment. So, but for the bars to open, you know, they've then got to start thinking about, obviously, the rent. They've got to think about the staff. Also, they have to probably then look at their teapot contribution, because that's going to be needing topping up if you're open. So I think for some, it's probably cheaper to stay closed and pay the X's that are just standard monthly bills than it is to open. I think so. But that's what I think. So hopefully that's answered your question, Michael. Do you know what? I should have actually thought about this before I say this one, but Paul Hoskin has said, if a genie gave you one wish, what would it be here in the Pattaya area? And I'm going to throw that out to you now. So if a genie gave you one wish, you could do anything you wanted, or change anything you wanted, or make anything you wanted, what would your one wish be and why? For me, oh man, I would say, oh, you've done me here, to be fair, because there's a few things. I think I'm not going to go down the girl route because that's just obvious. So I'm going to go down the route of making communication very simple, as in we all understand English or we can all understand Thai so that we can just communicate. Because I must admit, and I don't know if you guys feel the same, but sometimes communication, especially if you can't speak any Thai, is very, very difficult at times. And it can be frustrating, especially if you're trying to communicate and, you know, they don't understand you and we fail to remember the fact that we're in their country, they're not in our country. So, you know, we're like, why can't you understand English? Come on, I'm trying to explain to you, and they don't. So I think if the genie could maybe wave a magic wand, I would say that we could both understand each other's languages perfectly, and that would make life very, very simple here, and it would mean that you can just enjoy your stay without any issues about trying to communicate and understand each other. So that's my one. Probably a little bit boring in many ways, and maybe not what you was expecting me to say, but that's what I think. So, you know, what would you change? You know, you got that genie, you got one wish, what would it be and why? I'm laughing because I can imagine some of the comments that are going to come back. All right, so where are we? We've done that one, we've done those. Okay, right, last question. So, and I apologise here because I'm probably going to get this pronunciation wrong. It says Kusirigo Cuckoo. I'm sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong. It's a bit of a difficult one for me. It says, people that are coming here to Thailand for the first time, what is the most difficult thing to adapt to? Is it like the time difference, the food that you eat, the heat, the water that you drink, etc., etc.? And that's a good question. And I like that question. I think probably, and guys, if you know, what was your biggest change that you had to adapt to that was hard for you to get your head around? For me, I think probably the biggest thing that most people will struggle with is the heat, because it is hot here. Even, you know, 9 o'clock in the morning, it's probably warmer here than what it is in most other European countries in the middle of their summers. And it does take time getting used to. You know, people say to me, how can you do this and you don't seem to sweat, etc. But forgetting, guys, I've been here 10 years. So my body has acclimatized to it. But even saying that, I still sweat, you know, I'm still hot. I just tolerate it a lot better now and I get used to it. So I think people that come here for the first time, maybe if you haven't been traveling a lot or you've been to other hot countries, you might struggle here with the heat because it is hot, particularly like mid-afternoon, 1, 2 o'clock. It's so easy to get sunburnt here without even realizing. You know, I see so many people, they walk down Beach Road, there's a beautiful breeze coming off of the sea, and they're there just with their string vest or their no vest, whatever, and they're just walking down, and I look at them and I think, dude, you are like a beetroot. You know, you are going to be sore the next day. And I think that's probably what I would consider to be the biggest thing that most people find difficult to adjust to, would be the heat. What do you think? You know, let me know, guys. What do you think is the one thing when you get here, you think, oh, I'm tired because I'm 6 hours or 7 hours ahead, whatever that may or may not be. Or maybe, you know, you don't like spicy food and there's a lot. But, you know, to be fair, though, that you can get any food here. So it's not really an issue in my eyes. Plus, I love Thai food. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know. What do you think? All right, so that's it for me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's chat. Coming up this Sunday, I'm gonna dare to do a live stream. So if you've been waiting for the live stream, yes, I'm finally gonna grow a pair of balls and have a go at it. It's probably gonna be a disaster, but nevertheless, that's what. And what I want to do is I want to talk about the latest news topics that are currently happening right here. We can discuss them. I don't want it to be like I've seen somewhere they spend all the time reading all these comments. I want it to be a chat about, look, in the news today, this is my thoughts, what were your thoughts, kind of thing, and we can bounce it around a little bit. We'll see where we go with that, and if it works and it's a success, we'll continue that. If it's a flatliner and it's no good, well then we'll bin it. It's as simple as that. There's enough live streams out there for you guys to enjoy without me joining on the bandwagon, but I have been asked about it so many times, and so I thought, well, let's try and change it up a little bit. Let's talk about current things. And now I've said that, if any other YouTubers are watching it, they might just do that before me. There you go, it is what it is. All right, guys, so Thank you very much for watching. Please, if you've got a comment, a question, drop it in the comment section below. I'll either answer it here in the description of the channel, or I'll bring it to camera and we'll discuss it like I do each week. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Guys, check out our members area. I'm actively going out there every week finding new businesses that will offer us some form of discount. It may not be a lot, but it all adds up, and the cost of your membership is pennies. So, you know, wherever you go, you're always going to get your membership value back in the first transaction. And if you haven't joined our Telegram group, I mentioned it earlier in the chat show here, please join. You know, there's a link in the description below. Look down below, you'll see it says Telegram. Join there, drop across, come and say hello, introduce yourself, meet all the guys that are currently on the chat group, and who knows, you might be enjoying yourself, finding some useful information and all the other things that go on in that chat group, as well as the photos. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and please, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.